Hi book friends, I'm Addie and this is Books and Tea Time. Today we are going to be doing a themed-ish reading vlog. I really want to knock out as many more books as I can on like my Pride themed TBR. I didn't organize a specific TBR, but I've had a couple in mind that I want to read, that I want to finish. I just kind of want to do like a reading vlog to read as much as I can before I leave for a vacation, because I am going on vacation on July 3rd. We're leaving. Today is June 26th. So I'm going to do a reading vlog the week before. We're going to prep for vacation. We're going to read as much as we can and just hang out together and talk about books. I've got a couple books here that I really want to get to. The first two that I'm absolutely going to prioritize, and I really want to finish both of these. I just talked about all four of these books in my most recent book haul, so if you haven't seen that, I'll have a card to that video. First is Sorrowland by River Solomon. I've actually started this already, but I'm only on page 43 and I'm lagging behind. I need to read this book. It's one of my most anticipated books, if not my absolute most anticipated book of the year. Can't wait to read it, and I'm already enjoying it so much. I have a whole color system for highlighting that I have made. Second is another book that I'm absolutely excited and anticipating, and that is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nevo. This is about a pregnant woman who escapes a cult and has twin babies in the woods, and that's all I really know about it, and I haven't read too much, so I can't give you much more detail. This is a queer Great Gatsby retelling. The fact that I haven't read and finished both of these makes me feel ashamed, because I love both of their writing, both of their works, everything about both of these authors, and I want to support them and shout my praises from the rooftops. So we have to read these. This is our priority. We're gonna read and chat together. It's gonna be a great time, but right now I have to go to work. So I'm gonna go do that, work, and then when I come back, I'll probably read some Sorrowland. So that's the plan. Welcome to the video. Welcome back, or welcome to this bookish space. I'm very glad to have you here. So stick around for bookish thoughts. Here for my first update. I'm about to clean my room. It's a disaster, but you can't see because I don't want you to see. I want to deep clean and maybe reorganize some of my book area, because this is a disaster. This is my nonfiction shelf and it needs help. So I think I'm gonna go through that and reorganize some stuff, maybe move some other stuff around. So I've already finished a book. Wow, I know. I actually just got a 30-day free trial for Scribd, which is like another like audiobook ebook app that a lot of people on Booktube always talk about, so I thought that I would try that out. They also have a ton of like ebooks and graphic novels and stuff, so I read The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky, which is like a novella in between books 1 and 2 of the Montague siblings series. The first book is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and the second book is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. I read both of those, I think, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I liked them, but I was never able to get my hands on The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky because it's like an exclusive edition thing, and like you can't get it in the physical. So I found it, and it was only 90 pages in ebook. Read it yesterday. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was cute. It's a male romance. It's like a friends to lovers thing, and like they actually like fall for each other and like decide that they want to be together in the like first book, Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, and then this is kind of about like understanding what it means to like be together and be intimate after being friends for so long, and like their first like sexual experience together. It was cute. It wasn't as steamy as I was hoping, and it was kind of just like didn't really add too much, but it was nice, and I thought that I would read it for this Pride vlog. So I finished that, and I'm 70 pages into Sorrowland. I'm gonna give you guys my first update when I hit like the 100-page mark. Just dropped you guys on the ground because I'm so excited because Jessie from Booktubers and Books, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, just announced that they are hosting a 24-hour sapphic readathon this Friday, and I was like, that's perfect. It'll be the last day that I'll do this like reading vlog for. I'll read a bunch of sapphic books on Friday, and it'll be so cute and amazing, and it'll be the perfect pairing for the rest of this Pride video. So I'm still planning on finishing Sorrowland and starting The Chosen and the Beautiful, because I'm pretty sure I saw that on a sapphic book list, so I think there's a sapphic romance in it. I'm trying to think of like short bingeable things that I can read on Friday. So the other thing that I really wanted to add to my TBR is the first few volumes of Heavy Vinyl, which is a graphic novel series that I've had my eyes on for a while, and maybe another audio. I'm probably not going to get to Freshwater or The Secret Lives of Church Ladies now, but maybe I'll take those books on vacation with me. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to read LGBTQIA2S+ for the next like 5-6 days, and it's gonna be super fun. So that's my first update. My floor is covered in clothes and my books are a mess, so let's get organized. Okay, I just finished cleaning and reorganizing, so now I'm gonna show you what progress I made and how it looks now. So when you walk into my room, this is the first thing that we've got. So I added this stack, which is kind of just some miscellaneous school books and like penguin books that I didn't know what to do with, and my Calvinos right there. Then up here we still have my Steinbeck collection. Milo wants to say hello. Hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can I help you? No? Okay, come on. Sorry about that. He's so needy. Anyway, these are my Steinbecks. These are all of my books on writing of various sorts. And then my Steinbeck cup. Then we come over here, and I've got 2 series there, a bunch of fantasy stuff there, like my box sets here. These are my 2 TBR stacks, which are absolutely ridiculous. These are all my like nonfiction and fiction books I want to read, and these are all my fantasy books that I want to read. A fan, because it's 1,000,000 degrees in my room, and currently reading Sorrowland is downstairs, but that's the dust jacket. Then we come over here, which is where the new magic is going on. So we've got my memoirs right here. Then we've got educational, anti-racist, feminist hodgepodge. Then we've got other like educational, academic kinds of literature. I've got this facing outward because it's super cute. And then these are all of my like thesis books. I still have my Dark Tower Stephen King shelf. Then I put all my broad views up here so that I could really display them. That's a portrait of Milo. I have a bunch of these angel figurines. I'm really not that religious, but they were my grandma's and they remind me of her. So we've got that going for us. My bookshelves are still pretty much the same. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Stormlight Archives because they're way, way too thick. Oh, and then I stuffed a couple other miscellaneous ones back here. That's that. I have too many books and not enough space. Hi friends, it's the next day, I think. I'm freshly showered and I'm about to go get dinner and run some errands. I have to go to Target and get some stuff for vacation, just to prep for leaving for vacation. But I wanted to show you guys that I got my July Sips By box today, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because Sips By is one of my absolute favorite subscriptions, my favorite company. This is not at all sponsored, but Sips By. I love Sips By. They are a tea subscription box where you get 4 teas every month to try, and obviously since this is books and tea time, I love tea. Hot, cold, all of it. And I've been getting this since I think December or something, and it was brought to my attention because Jessie of Bow Ties and Books is sponsored by them, and they do these really cute positivity videos where they unbox the teas, and for every tea that they unbox they shout out a booktuber or like a bookish company, and it's really sweet, and they are the one that like got me hooked on it. So shout out to Jessie for yet another great recommendation, making my life better. So every box comes with this cute little card, and it literally has my name on it. Adorable. And it gives you like the information. It's kind of like the spoiler card, if you will. First things first. Oh, actually, let me show you this. So every month you get a linen bag and like these little disposable tea bags inside of it. I can't do this with one hand. Meh. There you go. So you get these little disposable tea bags that you can put loose tea in, and also one of these like linen moleskin, I don't know what it is, bags. The first one that I got is a tar tea to the party. It's an herbal tea. It sounds super cute, but listen to these ingredients: hibiscus, apple, papaya, currants, elderberries, black currants, flavoring raspberries, strawberries, sunflower, and cornflower. This sounds delightful. And the little tea kitten logo, so cute. This is obviously a loose tea, but there are 4 servings in here, so I'll probably put this in the moleskin. Then we have Moroccan mint from Stash. I actually got a Moroccan mint a few boxes ago, but I love Stash. They're one of my favorite companies. They make one of my absolute favorite teas of all time, so this is another one. Then I got an Earl Grey from Ahmad Tea. Earl Grey is one of my favorite teas, one of my favorite tea flavors, so always nice to have some Earl Grey. And I've gotten some pretty good like breakfast teas and different kinds of teas from this brand before that I really like. Just more of all of those flavors. You get 4 of each one. And then I got this peppermint one. Super interesting. Cool, fresh, and comforting. Herbal infusion. So I like all the mint stuff. It's very fresh, very summery. Super cute. Time for a quick plant update. Medusa is out here thriving. These 2 little leaves right here weren't even there when I got her in like May. It is pouring down rain right now. Sorry if you can hear the thunder. So Medusa's doing great. Cleo is this little one, and Aphrodite back here are also doing good. This is completely new since getting Aphrodite, so I'm gonna water these little babes right now and then cut up some fruit for a snack. Friends, so we're here. It is currently Wednesday and I'm here for my first Sorrowland check-in, but also just to give you an update on generally what I've been doing the past few days. I don't really think I got any sit down like update clips yesterday, but I was like looking at stuff on Scribd that I wanted to read for the sapphic readathon on Friday, and I found this really cute graphic novel called The Avant-Gardes about this like club basketball team at a college that is primarily like an arts school, and it's just about like this team and getting this league going, and there's a female romance between 2 of the characters. But I couldn't wait, and I read the first volume I think 2 days ago and the second 2 volumes last night, so I have completely read all of the available published volumes from that series, and it was amazing. I loved it so much. It was just like very wholesome and sweet and adorable. The cast of characters is so incredibly diverse, and I really love everything. I love everything about it. One of the things that I thought was really cool is like each chapter or like each individual volume, you kind of get the internal thoughts and internal monologues of a different member of the basketball team. So you have the main characters, Charlie and Olivia, who are, you know, interested in each other. Charlie is a transfer student, and the basketball team convinces her to join them as their like fifth player, and so Charlie reluctantly agrees to join the team, and like then it's just all about like the league and, you know, stuff with funding the league and like different problems that they run into having like a women's basketball league that is like a club sport and like at a D4 school. It's not like a big Division 1 funded program, but it's just about all of these characters who really want to play basketball, and just like the team is so sweet and so supportive, and you get to follow the internal thoughts of each character and get a sneak peek into their lives and what's going on with them. Another thing that I really absolutely love about it is we do have a non-binary character on the basketball team, and no one ever like questions anything about the right for them to be there in that space. And like the term like girls basketball league is really just not, it's not used to exclude people who may not identify as trans-binary individuals. So there's no questioning it, and I absolutely love it because it's just such an inclusive space, and it gives them room to just be diverse and have friends and voice their other struggles in their lives with like what their career path is. And like one character is struggling because she wants to change her major and she doesn't know if she should. And there's this one character, I think my favorite character is Tiffany, because she is absolutely obsessed with like witchcraft, and she like has this other club that she's part of that's like a coven, and she's just always like asking people their birthdays and saying, I have to do their birth charts to see if they're compatible. And like she's just so goofy and funny and adorable. There are a couple like kind of like dramatic YA moments to it, especially in the third volume, that I wasn't super crazy about, but I gave all of them 4 out of 5 stars, all like sets. I highly recommend them. They're so bingeable and quick and fun, and I'm so glad that I read that. But what I'm actually here to talk to you guys about is Sorrowland, because I am a little over halfway. I'm on page 190 right now, and things are coming together, coming to a head. This one is about a young woman named Vern, and at the very beginning she has just recently escaped from a commune, which like from the outside world is referenced as a cult, but like we're kind of getting the nuances of that. So she's from this commune called the Blessed Acres of Cain, and it is a collection of Black folks who have created this space. And the narrative that everyone at the commune is fed is that it is a space outside of white influence, where they aren't supporting the white economy, they are sustaining themselves, they live off the land, and they learn how to survive in the world, in like the natural world. They like, instead of going to school, they still get an education and learn to read, etc., but they get an education also in like how to like identify plants in the woods that they can eat and things like that, and learning how to like cultivate and like make their own clothes, etc., etc. But the philosophy, the religious and like cultural philosophy, is that like the white god is who created like Europeans and who white people worship, and like these people believe that they are the descendants of Cain, who after being cast out of the Garden of Eden is the descendant, or is the ancestor of all of the people in Africa. And this community is like a mimicry, but also just a preservation of African ancestry and the beauty of what it means to be African. And that's where like the difficulty comes in, is because a lot of the issues for our main character Vern is that she recognizes that a lot of what the leaders of this place say about white people and about America and like the United Kingdom and just like global imperialism and colonialism, like a lot of the stuff that they're saying is absolutely accurate, but at the same time they weaponize that truth and use it to create deceit in this community. And it's very vague for the first like 100 pages, but we're kind of starting to unpack some of that now. So I don't want to say too much about that, but I will say that the main struggle for Vern is that she has all of these memories and these toxic memories of the abuse that she suffered there and the medications that they would put her on, and her being forced at the age of I think 15 or 16 being forced into a marriage with like the current leader of the commune. She is struggling with that because she at the very beginning of the book has escaped and she is living in the woods and she is pregnant and she gives birth to twins in the woods. And you're following her for the very beginning of the book as she is hiding from someone who she believes is stalking her and trying to intimidate her and push her out of the woods and push her back towards Caneland. And so she has someone that she knows is hunting her, but she's also still very young and coming to terms with her own desires and her own emotional and physical pain and the trauma that she's experienced, but at the same time watching her twins grow up in the woods. Book after that is kind of her unraveling all of that truth, but now past like 30 pages it's been getting very heavy in like fantasy sci-fi, and I'm really glad because I wasn't expecting it to be fantastical. Like I think going into it I kind of was treating this as more just like literary fiction, which maybe I didn't really look too much into the synopsis of this book because I wanted to go in knowing nothing, so like I'm not really surprised that I kind of misunderstood. But I love all of the twists and turns and things that are going on and how we're getting some fantastical elements now for sure, and a lot of exploration and commentary on medical malpractice and like medical experimentation on Black bodies in America. There's also like a whole conspiracy around this like commune cult situation. The pace of this book is very quick. Like at the very beginning the twins are just being born, and by like the 180 page mark I think they're 4 now, but I kind of like that. I'm not really bothered by it at all. The pacing is really well done. And another thing that I just absolutely love and think River Solomon is so skilled at is the use of flashbacks. The flashbacks are just they're so subtly woven into the present world and the scenes that are happening that like you always know you're in a flashback, but it's so seamless that it just feels like it makes perfect sense because it informs something that's happening in the present, but it's so clear at the same time that you're never like confused about what time you're in, if you're in the past or you're in the present. And I noticed that in An Unkindness of Ghosts as well, which is Solomon's debut novel, and they're so skilled at flashback. Like I can't stress enough how amazing it is. One other thing, I feel like this is all over the place, but I'm just like remembering different things that I have to tell you about this book. But in addition to the fact that she is uncovering all this information about the commune that she grew up on and like staying out of their grasp and everything and raising these kids, she also, since being in the woods and spending these years in the woods and creating her home there, has noticed changes in her body. And like she has these things called hauntings, which are kind of comparable to night terrors, but not precisely night terrors, which she thinks is related to the medicine that she was fed, basically force-fed while she was at Caneland. But she's also grown incredibly strong, and she has endurance and speed that is inhuman or like superhuman-esque, and she's obviously noticing that. And like In tandem with that, however, though, there's like a give and take, is that she is experiencing chronic pain and like itching that she can never like satiate. She's just like itching herself until she just bleeds and her skin blisters over. But another part of it, of her new body and the changes that's going on, is that she can heal, regenerate her skin so quickly that like she'll put her hand in the fire to dull the aching pain of her whole body and centralize it on just her hands, and then in a few days it'll be as though the skin is brand new, and like her children are noticing it and they're beginning to ask questions. So I'm gonna try and reach part 3 tonight. Part 3, which there's these really creepy like woodsy images at the beginning of every part. Part 3 starts on page 266 and I'm on page 190, so I definitely think I can hit that point tonight. I'm flying through it. I'm also listening to the audiobook while I physically read and like do my highlighting and my like tabbing. And I find that I read really, really fast when I do that, because like having someone read it to me, I don't ever really lose focus as much, or like it's harder for me to lose focus. So I'm gonna go eat dinner and then continue to read, and I'll update you when I have more to say. Peace out. Hi friends, we're back in the car. Love these car chats with you all. It's the best. I just got my nails did, and the adorable old woman who does my nails is obsessed with glitter, so I let her convince me to get a glitter accent nail. Right now I'm going to pick up some lunch, but I wanted to update you and say that I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning last night finishing Sorrowland, so making progress in this vlog. Sorrowland was great. I just can't express how great Solomon's writing is. That book is wild. I mean, a lot of stuff happened. I wasn't expecting all of like the fantasy, like fantastical stuff that was going on, but I really, really liked it. It reminds me a lot more of The Deep than An Unkindness of Ghost did, and The Deep is still, I think, my favorite of Solomon's works. I think I'm gonna reread The Deep soon. Maybe I'll bring it with me on vacation. That might be a nice like beach read to have, since it's like about mermaids and takes place like in the ocean, obviously. I like don't want to say too much, because I feel like going into this not knowing a lot is like what really made it just so shocking and exciting and thrilling. Like there's like the conspiracy element to it, so there's like kind of like a mystical or like a mystery part with like the conspiracy about Caneland. Then there's like the fantastical parts. At the same time, you get like a deep dive into Vern's psyche and her as a mother and as a person and as a lover and everything that she goes through. And I have to let it sit for a little while before I like give it my final rating and like let it like melt into my brain a little bit more, because like I just feel like I'm still in shock about everything that happened and like the whole plot of everything. It's definitely got some horror components as well, like with the hauntings and like the violence and things. There's definitely like body horror and like just horror elements to it that I really enjoyed, but it's definitely scary. Like reading it at night, it was like spooking me a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna have nightmares. I think I'm gonna start The Chosen and the Beautiful when I get home. Peace out. So I'm back home now. It's several hours later. It's still pouring down rain. The weather has been really gross. It was like 90 degrees for about 3 days in a row. And now for the second day in a row, it's super rainy. So there's that. But I wanted to pop on and say I read the first 30 pages of The Chosen and the Beautiful, and it's going pretty well. I mean, I'm interested and I'm on board because I have a lot of trust in Nevo after reading her novellas, but honestly, the fact that I don't like The Great Gatsby, I think is a little detrimental to my enjoyment, because it's reminding me a lot of The Great Gatsby so far. I mean, I'm only 30 pages in, But yeah, so there's that. I don't know. There are definitely scenes and elements to it that I really like. There's this obvious like magical realism, like spiritualism, supernatural magic thing going on that I really like. So I'm hoping that that'll like take center stage here soon. I'll probably update you again at like the 100-page mark or something, and I'll probably have more to say. But I started, and now I have to pack. Milo is standing guard, being a very good watchdog. You gonna help me pack? No, you can't come, so he's very grumpy. He's very sad. Hi friends, happy sapphic readathon day. It's pouring down rain again, no surprise. And I have a face mask on, this strawberry peel-off mask. So I have to leave this on for 20 minutes. And then hopefully my skin will look better than it did before. But right now, I have to pack. But I wanted to come on and say that I am halfway done with The Chosen and the Beautiful by Niveau, and I'm definitely liking it more now that we've gotten a little bit deeper into the book. I'm really interested in our main character, Jordan Baker. My only complaint is that I wish we got more of her. Honestly, like, I know it's a Great Gatsby retelling, but I don't give a damn about Gatsby or Daisy or Nick, to be honest. So I just really like the sections where we get to know a little bit more about Jordan and that stuff. But right now, since it's the Sapphic Readathon, I am going to start listening to One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I'm a little nervous about this because in my spring wrap-up, I talked about how much I adore Red, White, and Royal Blue. I listened to it on audio, and it is my new favorite book of the year. If you want to hear more about me absolutely gushing about that, I'll have a card in my spring wrap-up. But I've heard mixed things, and across the board, everyone who's read this and reviewed it said that it's not as good as Red, White, and Royal Blue. But I'm willing to give it a try. It's a sapphic romance with a sci-fi time-traveling component, from what I understand. So I'm going to start listening to that, and then after I pack, I'm going to read a couple volumes of heavy vinyl on Scribd on my iPad. So when I have an update, I'll update you, but right now I'm going to listen to One Last Stop while I pack. Happy Sapphic Readathon, and I hope the weather is better where you are, because it sure ain't good here. Friends, I'm here for the outro clip. It is like 12:15 on July 3rd, so the Sapphic Readathon is officially over. I have to catch a plane in like 4 hours, and so I'm just gonna wrap this up here and then pick up a new vlog. So let's just quickly wrap up and talk about what I read and what I finished. So I finished Sorrowland. I read and finished all 3 volumes of the Avant-Garde's comic book. I did read and finish Heavy Vinyl, the first volume. Unfortunately, the second volume isn't on Scribd, but it was really cute, fun. It's about a vinyl record shop, and all of the girls that work there are in like this secret girls fight club, and there's like a mystery going on in like the music world. It takes place in like 1998. It's a vibe. It's really cute, and I do want to eventually read the second volume, but I obviously couldn't read it today. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Really nice. I am halfway through Chosen and the Beautiful, so that's going to be a carryover to next time. And One Last Stop, I want to say I'm like a third of the way through, and I like it. It's good, but it's definitely not, it's like, I feel like it's not the same to compare it to Red, White, and Royal Blue. Like, it's almost not fair because it's just like, it has romantic elements and there's definitely romance qualities to it. Like, it is a romance, but it's also got something else going on with like the science fiction vibes and like the time travel element. So like, I'm like a third of the way through and there hasn't really been any like steamy moments or like really not a whole lot of like alone time with like one-on-one with the two love interests. And I think that's because of like the premise and the main character's love interest being stuck on this subway train. So it's different than Red, White, and Royal Blue, but there was definitely already so much steam and so much romance and sweetness in Red, White, and Royal Blue by this point that I'm just like, it's different, but that doesn't mean it's not good and I don't like it. So I am also going to carry that one over to next week's vlog, which will be live next Monday. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, come back next Monday. Don't forget to subscribe and you'll be able to hear more about that. But I am liking it so far and I am going to finish it. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I think that's everything that I read. Oh, and I read The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky, which was the ebook that I talked about earlier. So overall, really good. And obviously, I am going to continue to read LGBTQIA2S+ books throughout the rest of the year. I still have plenty on my shelf, on my TBR, that I can't wait to get to. And so they will be scattered around amongst the rest of my videos for the rest of the year, as always. But since it was June and June was coming to an end, I just wanted to make a dedicated video and it worked out perfectly with the sapphic readathon. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if that's your jam, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy reading, happy writing, and happy living. Bye!